Manchester United target Morten Hjulmand, the £50 million midfielder that could transform their season. Welcome to Unite United News, your most reliable source for the latest transfer updates and in-depth football analysis. When the transfer window heats up and clubs are chasing their final targets, we bring you the inside stories that matter most to football fans everywhere. Today we're diving deep into Manchester United's pursuit of Sporting Lisbon midfielder Morten Hjulmand, a player who could be the missing piece in their midfield puzzle. But why are United interested in the Danish international? What makes this deal so complicated? And could this transfer actually happen before the window closes? The transfer saga that has United fans on edge. With just days left in the transfer window, Manchester United are still searching for that perfect midfielder to complete their squad. After missing out on several targets and seeing deals collapse, the Red Devils have turned their attention to a player who knows manager Ruben Amorim very well. Morten Hjulmand, the 26-year-old Danish midfielder who captained Sporting Lisbon, has emerged as a potential solution to United's midfield concerns. But this isn't just another last-minute scramble for any available player. There's a deeper connection that makes this transfer both logical and complicated. The relationship between Hjulmand and Amorim goes back to when the Portuguese manager brought the midfielder to Sporting from Italian club Lecce. Now, with Amorim at Old Trafford, could he convince his former captain to follow him to Manchester? Who is Morten Hjulmand? Meet United's latest target. Before we dive into the transfer details, let's get to know the player who has caught Manchester United's attention. Morten Hjulmand isn't just another midfielder looking for a big move. He's a proven leader with the experience and qualities that United desperately need. The Danish international stands at an impressive 6 feet 2 inches and brings a perfect combination of defensive stability and attacking threat to any team. As a box-to-box midfielder, he covers every blade of grass during matches, breaking up opposition attacks and creating chances for his teammates. What makes Hjulmand special is his leadership qualities. Being named Sporting captain shows the respect he commands from teammates and coaches alike. At just 26 years old, he has already proven himself as someone who can handle pressure and guide younger players through difficult moments. His international experience with Denmark adds another layer to his appeal. Having represented his country 19 times, Hjulmand knows what it takes to perform on the biggest stages and in the most important matches. The Amorim connection. Why this transfer makes perfect sense. The key to understanding United's interest in Morten Hjulmand lies in his relationship with manager Ruben Amorim. This isn't just a case of a coach wanting any good player, it's about a manager who knows exactly what a player can bring to his system. When Amorim was at Sporting, he personally chose to sign Hjulmand from Lecce in the summer of 2022. This wasn't a signing forced on him by the club's board or scouts. It was Amorim's decision based on his belief that the Danish midfielder fit perfectly into his tactical plans. Over their time together at Sporting, Hjulmand played 65 matches under Amorim's guidance. That's more than a full season of working together, learning each other's methods, and building the trust that exists between a great coach and his key player. The fact that Amorim made Hjulmand captain speaks volumes about their relationship. Coaches don't give the armband to players they don't completely trust, both as footballers and as leaders in the dressing room. Hjulmand's success at Sporting, proven winner and leader. To understand why Manchester United want Morten Hjulmand, we need to look at what he achieved during his time at Sporting Lisbon under Ruben Amorim's management. In his 2 seasons with the Portuguese club, Hjulmand was a crucial part of their success. Sporting won 2 league titles during this period, and the Danish midfielder played a key role in both championship campaigns. His numbers tell the story of a complete midfielder. In 58 league appearances over 2 seasons, Hjulmand scored 6 goals and provided 4 assists. While these statistics might not seem overwhelming, they don't capture his most important contributions to the team. As a defensive midfielder, Hjulmand's job was to protect the back four, win the ball back, and distribute it to the more creative players. His success in these areas helped Sporting build the solid foundation that allowed their attacking players to shine. The leadership he showed was equally important. When Sebastian Coates left the club, Hjulmand was the natural choice to take over as captain. This promotion showed how much the club valued his influence both on and off the pitch. What Fabrizio Romano revealed. the latest transfer update. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has provided the most recent update on Manchester United's interest in Morten Hjulmand, and his information reveals both the potential and the problems with this deal. According to Romano, United have been keeping track of Hjulmand's situation for a long time. The Danish midfielder has always been on their lists, as someone they've been monitoring and considering for future transfer windows. However, Romano also revealed that United haven't yet started serious talks with either Sporting or Hjulmand's representatives. While they remain informed about the situation, no concrete negotiations have begun yet. This creates an interesting situation. With just days left in the transfer window, United would need to move very quickly if they want to complete this deal. The fact that they haven't started formal talks suggests either that this transfer is unlikely to happen this summer, or that United are waiting for the right moment to make their move. The Carlos Baleba factor. Why United need a new target. To understand United's interest in Hjulmand, we need to look at their failed pursuit of Brighton midfielder Carlos Baleba. The 21-year-old was reportedly United's top midfield target for most of the summer transfer window. United spent considerable time and effort trying to convince Brighton to sell Baleba. However, the Seagulls made it clear that the young midfielder was not for sale at any price during this transfer window. This rejection forced United to look elsewhere for midfield reinforcement. With time running out before the transfer deadline, they needed to identify alternative targets who could provide similar qualities to what Baleba would have brought. Hjulmand represents a different type of signing compared to Baleba. While the Brighton player is young with potential for future development, the Danish midfielder brings immediate experience and proven ability at the highest level. The £50 million question. Is Hjulmand worth the investment? Reports suggest that Sporting Lisbon value Morten Hjulmand at around £50 million. This is a significant sum for any club to spend, especially so late in the transfer window. But is the Danish midfielder worth this investment? Looking at the current transfer market, £50 million for a proven international midfielder in his prime years actually represents decent value. Players with similar experience and ability have moved for much higher fees in recent years. Hjulmand's age works in his favor when considering value for money. At 26, he's entering the prime years of his career and could give United 4 or 5 seasons of top-level performance. This makes the per-season cost of his transfer fee much more reasonable. His leadership qualities add extra value to any potential deal. United have struggled with consistency and mentality in recent seasons, and having a natural leader in midfield could help address these issues. The Sporting perspective. Why this deal is complicated. While Manchester United might want to sign Morten Hjulmand, Sporting Lisbon have their own reasons for wanting to keep him at the club. Understanding their position explains why this transfer is so complicated. According to Romano's report, Sporting are reluctant to sell more of their top players after already losing Victor Gyökeres to Arsenal this summer. The Swedish striker was one of their most important players, and losing him was already a major blow. From Sporting's perspective, selling both Gyökeres and Hjulmand in the same window would severely weaken their squad. The Danish midfielder is not just any player. He's their captain and one of their most important performers. Sporting also have their own ambitions for the coming season. They want to defend their league title and make an impact in European competitions. Keeping their best players is essential for achieving these goals. The timing of any potential offer also works against United. With so little time left in the transfer window, Sporting would struggle to find and sign a suitable replacement for Hjulmand if they were to sell him. What United's interest tells us about their transfer strategy. Manchester United's pursuit of Morten Hjulmand reveals several interesting things about their current transfer strategy and priorities for the squad. First, it shows that United recognize they need more experience and leadership in their midfield. While they have talented young players, they lack the kind of mature, proven performer who can guide the team through difficult moments. Second, their interest suggests they value players who already have a relationship with their manager. Rather than taking a gamble on unknown quantities, United seem to prefer signings where there's already proven compatibility between player and coach. Third, the pursuit of Hjulmand indicates that United are willing to spend significant money on the right player, even late in the transfer window. The reported £50 million valuation hasn't deterred their interest. The time factor. Can this deal happen so late in the window? One of the biggest challenges facing any potential transfer of Morten Hjulmand to Manchester United is the timing. With just days remaining before the transfer window closes, completing such a complex deal would require extraordinary effort from all parties involved. Transfer deals involving players of Hjulmand's caliber typically take weeks to negotiate. There are multiple layers to consider: the transfer fee, personal terms, medical examinations, visa requirements, and various legal documents that need to be prepared and signed. The fact that United haven't started concrete talks yet makes the timing even more challenging. If they decide to make a serious move for Hjulmand, they would need to compress weeks of normal negotiation time into just a few days. However, football has shown us that dramatic late transfers can happen when all parties are motivated to make a deal work. If United, Sporting, and Hjulmand all want this transfer to succeed, the tight timeline doesn't make it impossible. How Hjulmand would fit into United's current squad. If Manchester United were to successfully sign Morten Hjulmand, how would he fit into their current squad and tactical setup under Ruben Amorim? Given Amorim's familiarity with Hjulmand's abilities, we can expect the Danish midfielder would slot straight into the manager's preferred system. His versatility as a box-to-box player gives Amorim multiple options for how to use him. In United's current midfield, Hjulmand could provide the defensive stability that has sometimes been lacking. His ability to break up opposition attacks and shield the defense would give the more creative players like Bruno Fernandes more freedom to focus on their attacking contributions. His leadership qualities would be valuable in a relatively young United squad. Having a natural captain in midfield could help improve communication and organization during matches, particularly when the team is under pressure. The Danish international's experience in big matches and European competitions would also be beneficial as United try to establish themselves as regular contenders for major trophies. Comparing Hjulmand to other United midfield options. To better understand what Morten Hjulmand would bring to Manchester United, it's worth comparing him to the midfielders currently at the club. Unlike Bruno Fernandes, who is primarily an attacking midfielder focused on creating chances and scoring goals, Hjulmand offers more defensive stability and physical presence in the middle of the park. Compared to younger players like Kobbie Mainoo, Hjulmand brings proven experience at the highest level and the leadership qualities that come with being a captain at a major European club. His international experience with Denmark also sets him apart from some of United's current options. Having played in major tournaments and important qualification matches gives him the kind of big-game mentality that United need. The Danish connection, international experience, and leadership. Morten Hjulmand's international career with Denmark adds another dimension to his appeal as a potential Manchester United signing. His 19 caps for his country show that he's trusted by the Danish national team coaches and performs well when representing his country. Denmark have been one of Europe's most consistent national teams in recent years, reaching the semi-finals of Euro 2020 and consistently qualifying for major tournaments. Being a regular in such a successful team speaks to Hjulmand's quality and reliability. His experience in international football also means he's comfortable playing alongside world-class players and handling the pressure that comes with representing his country in important matches. This international pedigree would be valuable for United as they try to build a squad capable of competing in the Champions League and other major competitions. What this transfer would mean for United's season. If Manchester United were to successfully sign Morten Hjulmand, what impact could he have on their upcoming season? The immediate benefit would be adding depth and quality to their midfield options. Having more choice in the middle of the park would give Amorim greater tactical flexibility and help the team cope better with injuries and fixture congestion. Hjulmand's defensive abilities could help United become more solid at the back. His ability to break up attacks and protect the defense could reduce the number of goals they concede, which has been a problem in recent seasons. His leadership qualities could also have a positive impact on the team's mentality and performance in crucial moments. Having a natural captain in midfield often helps teams stay organized and focused during difficult periods of matches. The financial implications of a late transfer. Signing a player like Morten Hjulmand so late in the transfer window would have several financial implications for Manchester United that go beyond just the transfer fee. Players signed late in the window often command premium prices because selling clubs know that buying clubs have limited alternatives and are under time pressure to complete deals. The rushed nature of late transfers can also lead to higher agent fees and other associated costs as everyone involved tries to fast-track the normal negotiation process. However, if United believe Hjulmand is the right player for their system, these additional costs might be worth paying to secure his services rather than waiting until the next transfer window. Learning from past late transfers. Football history is full of examples of both successful and unsuccessful late transfer window signings. Understanding these precedents can help us evaluate the wisdom of United's potential pursuit of Hjulmand. Successful late signings often involve players who already have a relationship with their new club or manager. The existing familiarity helps them settle quickly and start contributing immediately to their new team's success. Failed late transfers usually happen when clubs panic and sign players without proper consideration of how they fit into the tactical system or squad dynamics. In Hjulmand's case, his existing relationship with Amorim suggests this would be more likely to fall into the successful category than the failed one. What Hjulmand brings beyond statistics. While goals and assists are easy to measure, Morten Hjulmand's most important contributions to Sporting went beyond simple statistics. Understanding these intangible qualities helps explain why United are interested in signing him. His work rate and energy levels throughout matches provide a foundation that allows other players to express their creativity without worrying about defensive responsibilities. His communication and organization skills help coordinate the team's pressing and defensive positioning, making the entire unit more effective. His mentality and approach to big matches could be valuable for United as they try to develop the winning culture necessary to compete for major trophies. The alternative scenarios. What happens if this deal doesn't happen? While United's interest in Morten Hjulmand is genuine, there are several reasons why this transfer might not happen before the window closes. Understanding these alternative scenarios is important for United fans. If the deal doesn't happen, United might have to wait until January or next summer to strengthen their midfield. This could force them to make do with their current options for the first half of the season. Alternatively, United might turn their attention to other available midfielders who could be signed more quickly and easily before the deadline. There's also the possibility that United might decide to promote younger players from their academy rather than making expensive signings in positions where they already have decent depth. Fan expectations. What United supporters want. Manchester United fans have mixed feelings about the club's transfer activity this summer, and their reaction to the potential Hjulmand signing reflects these broader concerns. Many supporters are frustrated that United haven't been more decisive in the transfer market and are worried about making last-minute panic purchases rather than following a clear long-term strategy. However, fans also recognize that Hjulmand's connection with Amorim makes this a more logical signing than some random late-window addition who doesn't fit the manager's plans. The key for United will be managing fan expectations while making decisions that genuinely improve the squad rather than just adding bodies for the sake of new signings. The pressure on Amorim, making his mark at United. The potential signing of Morten Hjulmand also needs to be viewed in the context of Ruben Amorim's position as Manchester United manager and his need to make his mark at the club. Amorim is still relatively new to United and establishing his authority and implementing his preferred style of play. Bringing in a player he knows well could help accelerate this process. Having familiar faces in the squad can help managers implement their tactics more quickly because they don't need to spend time building relationships and understanding with completely new players. For Amorim, signing Hjulmand would send a message that he has influence over transfer decisions and can bring in players who fit his vision for how United should play. Conclusion. A transfer that could define United's season. The potential signing of Morten Hjulmand represents more than just another transfer for Manchester United. It's about adding experience, leadership, and proven quality to a squad that has struggled with consistency in recent seasons. While the late timing and complex negotiations make this deal challenging, the existing relationship between player and manager gives it a better chance of success than many last-minute transfers. Whether or not this transfer happens, it shows that United are still actively trying to improve their squad and give their manager the tools he needs to implement his tactical vision. The next few days will reveal whether United can pull off this ambitious late-window signing or whether they'll have to wait for future transfer windows to add the midfield stability they clearly need. For Hjulmand, the opportunity to reunite with Amorim at one of world's biggest clubs might be too good to turn down, even if it means leaving his captain's role at Sporting. At Unite United News, we'll continue monitoring this story and bringing you all the latest developments as they happen. In a transfer window full of surprises, this potential reunion between manager and player could be the most intriguing story of all. Stay with us for continued coverage of United's transfer activity and all the football news that matters most to fans around the world. Because when the transfer window reaches its climax, every rumor could become reality and every decision could shape a club's entire season.